Hi everybody, today I'm going to be talking about the hotfix announcement, or the first initial patch I guess that we've received since the release of the game. Let's very quickly get into it. So as you can see, you probably received this in the mail as well. Essentially what they're talking about here is that they've announced a couple things, and there's already some stuff on the map if you're not, if you haven't already seen it, whether that's the upcoming second world boss that isn't just the wolf, it's the other boss that's slumbering. They've also announced that there are major updates, including the Trial of Abyss, that'll be available on the 18th. If I'm not mistaken, I think this is separate again from the slumbering thing, but there is also something that had about 8 days available. I'm not sure if this is the exact same thing that they're talking about. I'm gonna check really quick actually right now on, because I'm playing on my phone right now actually. Is this what it's called? Trial of Abyss? Primal Awakening. This is, I guess, completely unassociated. I apologize. I do recall something else coming out at around like 9 or 10 days as well, but this isn't the same. Again, being announced or having announced new content that isn't just things that are already, present in the game is always nice for a game after a couple weeks of it coming out. But also there's now a couple new quality of lives, which is nice. And I understand that maybe people are looking for some adjustments to powder and things of that nature. I'm not sure if we're going to receive that in this hotfix note. I've only kind of read the first couple things. But as you can see, and this is one of the things that I was kind of excited about, it's that now you have a cross-server friends feature, which again, it allows you to take part in or help other friends that are on other servers. And if you aren't familiar with why this is a big deal, for whatever reason, when you make an account or you I guess apply or make a first account when it comes to AFK Journey, it doesn't necessarily make it abundantly clear that you are, making a server or making an account on a specific server among hundreds of other servers. And if you are trying to, again, be in the same guild or be able to interact with or, give help to your other friends on your same server, this is an issue, because even when I started the game on, I think, World 33 on accident, and some of the other people that I begun playing the game with were on server 31, but it wasn't really prominent or really obvious that we were playing on separate accounts, or on separate servers rather, until I had gotten to rank 50, rank 60, which is kind of a problem. So at the very minimum, if you are now, I guess, separated because you didn't want to, restart your progress, at least now you have the ability to help each other or add each other at the very minimum in game. Outside of these specific guild activities, that of course would have made this the most nice, and at that point they might as well just have merged both servers or served all servers together at that point. Being able to help each other specifically through synergy battles, proxy battles, and corrupt creatures is kind of the main selling feature of being on the same server as other people. Now, outside of, again, competitive aspects, like I mentioned with the guild or Dream Realm rankings or arena rankings, this is a step in the right direction. Hopefully they'll maybe change some of those things in the future, but in addition to the cross-server feature that they had, the increased number of friends that you can add from being from 40 to 60 is also really nice, because, well, you never have any shortage of needing to ask people for help when it comes to proxy battles or synergy battles. Speaking as someone that is definitely struggling sometimes on some of the AFK stages, but also a very big announcement, or a big change that they also made, was adjusting Primal Lord's difficulty and the rewards and time requirements. And the reason why I think this is maybe not the most insane change, but I think it'll take a little bit, and there's like a bunch of like theory crafting and kind of thinking that goes into this change, is that supposedly in the PTR or in some other servers, there was this kind of strategy when it comes to the Primal Lord, where killing him early or beating the Primal Lord early was actually not as good as delaying it, specifically because if you get rid of the Primal Lord earlier rather than later, you lose access to the daily rewards from beating the Primal Lord. And even though, again, you do receive a reward, if you are someone that, or you are struggling specifically with dust or powder, you kind of suffer, from losing out on this additional daily source of, I guess, EXP. And so them increasing the time to kill is nice, but whether or not they adjust anything relating to how easy it is to kill or anything like that may shake things up. But of course, just from this, it says specifically only the kill rewards and time requirements have been adjusted. But hopefully that means that, again, we still receive the same level of rewards, because I personally have definitely also been eating good with the rewards that I get daily. But then, of course, there's a number of quality of life adjustments, including lowering the requirements for corrupted creatures in specific regions, which is fine because, again, honestly, I don't think I've ever failed a corrupted creature, because normally the people or the kind people on my server that end up helping kind of just one-shot it, or I one-shot it, and you are kind of just forced to be in a group with someone, and it kind of feels like forced co-op play, but it's nice seeing someone else on occasion. And of course, the corrupt creature on first clear gives you a lot of good rewards, so it's an equally good feeling experience. And if you are just helping out other people, the friendship rewards can be used to buy things in the friendship store. Overall, corrupted creatures, not that big a deal. Lowering the requirements is nice, but I don't think corrupted creatures needed to really get touched at all, outside of, I guess, gaining a few additional rewards earlier. And then secondly, the second wave of enemies and AFK stages with multiple waves of enemies. Now, this adjustment, I'm not sure if it necessarily is speaking to the stage 700 plus, where you have to deal with a literal second side, or if they specifically mean that if you're in a stage that has, again, like a multi-wave, like crystal defense kind of activity, if they're specifically speaking to that. Either way, I do think that both are a little bit difficult. If you are at that point now in the game where you're trying to clear content with basically two half-built teams, or if you are trying to build a secondary team to climb the second half of a certain stage, it is quite difficult. What I found, and I found that a lot of people are doing this now, is that they have their main team that has Lightborns, or they'll have their CCL plus Thorn on one team, and then later on they'll end up building a Wilder or a Mauler team, or a Mauler, apologies, team to kind of supplement the secondary team. But the second team will always feel so much worse than the first, and you end up getting, gapped a little bit early on. And it isn't, at least for me, it wasn't until I spent basically 5 or 6 days locked at the early stages within the 700s before I could even begin talking about or considering using or having a secondary team. And now what I'm doing is basically cheesing every stage, every 2-section stage with an Odie that's Mythic Plus, and just praying that he executes an enemy. But again, I don't think a lot of people necessarily have the same level of, I guess, characters or even imprints that I have. So I personally am appreciative of the fact that this has been weakened, but if they just mean the crystal defense or something like that, that's also appreciated, because, well, it just makes the game a little bit easier. You get more rewards. And overall, although you could definitely argue that this might make the game a little bit easier, let's be real, guys. This is not a very this is not a very easy game, especially once you get to the later AFK stages. So any breath of fresh air I'll take. Furthermore, though, they also increased the number of dual letters because of the new event, which is nice, because ultimately, why would you have an event where you can only do it like once or twice or 3 times a day, and you can't buy out more letters if you're trying to complete the perfect challenges, or if you're trying to complete more activities. Furthermore, if you aren't also aware, with the introduction of the dual event, a lot of the people that have been playing are really good, and I'm kind of getting rolled left, right, and center. So having additional dual letters so that I can complete some of the activities, like throwing out 90, or like 80 Lightborn characters, or like 100 Lightborn characters, Graveborn characters, whatever. All these different activities do require a number of dual letters, and sometimes you're not lucky enough to actually be able to complete some of the challenges, including getting perfect runs. And although that is definitely something that you don't have to do to complete the challenge overall, I do appreciate the gesture of giving us more tickets, just because why would you gate that? Anyways, furthermore, they optimize, or they, I guess they fixed a couple of description texts for things. The descriptions and the mechanics of things, or the mechanics or actual functions of things, haven't really changed according to this. But all of these just look like description changes, and then they also ended up fixing up a number of bug fixes. I guess these are just look like description things and small bug issues, but I don't think any of these are really going to change anything major. The one thing that I do think they haven't talked about, and I'm kind of annoyed, is that sometimes when you're trying to look through records to see what other people have done, they bug out if you hop in and out. Like for me personally, I have like, you know, I have goldfish memory. That's what I was trying to say. I have goldfish memory, and I'm trying to see what the team composition is, and I'm not able to go back into the record quickly, even though I'm bouncing in and out. I don't know if that's like a delay or a lag or what, but personally, I was trying to use this to, again, copy certain compositions and then react or build compositions accordingly. But then I have to like completely go out of the menu because it's like frozen and I can't do anything, or I can't go back into the replay. They haven't addressed that here as far as I can tell in terms of records, but hopefully that gets changed in the future. And then finally, there's I guess a fix with Entendre where she wasn't increasing her damage on her ultimate, but honestly, Entendre players, if you've played or used this character, you know that she's kind of just there to provoke and then just get one shot. But anyways, guys, honestly, all in all, the hotfix was really good. Now, of course, it's not, you know, an official patch or anything of that nature. And actually, I'll just go ahead and do a quick 10 pull for you guys while I kind of blab about the ending of this. But long story short, the hotfix was pretty good, right? It isn't an official major patch or anything like that. Oh man, I only got epics. But I do think that the fact that they are thinking about and adding changes to the game is really nice. Ultimately, I hope that with the next patch, they introduce maybe some, I don't know, maybe some more interesting content. To be fair, though, we do have a couple things to hold us over. I was kind of interested in seeing if they would do anything relating to like the increased rate up or drop rates of things like Dream Realm currency, because I definitely feel like a lot of players do need Mythic Plus of 4 stars a lot sooner than they would think. And outside of characters like Brutus, who can kind of function on just one copy, it is really important to get stuff like Mythic Plus OD as soon as possible if you want to push or progress through Dream Realm. And otherwise, even getting something like Marley at Mythic Plus would also be nice. But anyways, guys, that's going to be it for my review of the patch notes. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure to like, comment, turn on the notification bell, and subscribe. Thanks again for supporting all the content. I'll see you guys on the next one. Stay safe, stay healthy. Good night.